Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ryan once again, the communications manager over here at CSL Dallas. And today I'm going to be sharing with you in this live stream about how to utilize Eventbrite to build your physical community at one of your centers. So Eventbrite is a really great tool, and really to understand why it's a great tool, you kind of have to look at it in the spectrum of marketing tools that you have. Facebook is really kind of a closed circuit type of marketing tool. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of features to Facebook that can allow it to reach outside of the community members that are just on your business profile page alone. But what Eventbrite is really designed to do is it's an outward marketing tool, meaning it's connected with a lot of agencies, a lot of different websites that utilize it in order to spread the information further and farther than things like Facebook. Because Facebook typically wants to keep its marketing doors closed to any outside person or outside website, outside entity. Um, don't get me wrong, they have a lot of integration techniques, but really Facebook's going to market and promote to your friends and your friends alone unless you pay for ads. And advertising can be pretty costly. So this Eventbrite is kind of a better tool for people who want to promote maybe more grassroots or don't have a big budget to promote. Eventbrite does reach out, like I said, to a lot of a different variety of people. So you're not necessarily going to be able to choose or select the demographic profile that gets to view it. Yeah, and they also have different kinds of accounts. Today, we're going to be focusing just on a free user account and not an actual pro account, because a pro account will come with many other marketing features that you can use to really get into the demographics and other things that the free user account doesn't. But we're gonna just show you real quick how I walk through this on basically a monthly basis, and I keep it real efficient, real effective, and it really works. So what you're seeing right now is you're seeing a calendar of events that I have going on. And you can see I've got it going on pretty much till the end of the year. And here at our center, what we have is we have a master calendar. And so once a year, we'll sit down and we'll actually plan out the majority of the big events that we have going on. And then I'll go and then kind of transpose that over into this. This is my marketing master calendar, and really break it down by the months and on into the weeks. And so you're seeing here is a weekly series of events. Now, when I'm doing this Eventbrite, I'm going to be looking at the month of events that I have going on versus just on the weekly promotions. Because at the beginning of every month, I can go to places like our website, and I can go to places like Meetup, and I can really coordinate Eventbrite, Meetup, our website, all these calendars all at once. But I need to kind of be able to see what's happening a month or 2 months down the road, so I can organize these by priority of the type of event that we're having. And we can also look at, maybe is this the type of special event that's going to focus more on an outward community, or is this maybe an event that's going to focus in on our inner community members, maybe some special type of ceremony or something that our inner members want to be a part of, and not so much be marketed onto the outside world. So once I've kind of assessed that and I've looked at it from a month's period of time, and then I can go ahead and really pick out the main events that need to get scheduled for that month. And I can do it all in one big bulk chunk, and it saves me a lot of time and a lot of energy. And then throughout the month, all I'm left doing is working with a volunteer to actually just do some direct message marketing or some other types of follow-ups. So after getting that, now I'm going to go over here. Let me go to our actual Eventbrite. So here I am. I'm on the Eventbrite's page. I've been, after logging in, I went here and I created a new event. Now we have a speaker that's going to be coming into town, Terry McBride. If you're not familiar with him, definitely go check out his book, The Hell I Can't. It's a great read. But he's going to be coming and talking to us. So step number one is looking at a catchy title. Now, if you go to Eventbrite and you're just looking at different events and activities, the name and the title is going to be one of the biggest draws because it's going to be the first thing you see. So having something that's catchy that you think will draw in the audience to your event is going to be pretty crucial at this point. So for his event, he has a workshop that goes along with it, and it's called Take Charge of Your Creative Mind. And so I thought that would be a good way to really kind of get people from outside of our community interested into this event. And I have shared this in the past, but I'll kind of reiterate this. You have four different mindsets that people have. And, any given time, we're operating out of one or two or maybe three of them. But you have dominant ones that you actually work from. So for me, for instance, I'm a very creative and visual person. So when I see the word creative mind, that's the draw-in for me. If I'm coming from more of a logic-based person, I'm going to ask myself, well, who is Terry McBride? Now, in the title, this is kind of explaining Terry McBride. So from a logic-based, take charge of your creative mind. Well, I know Terry McBride is somehow going to teach me about taking charge of my creative mind. So we can gear this a little bit differently. Like if I was trying to focus maybe more on the logic-based people, I would say empowering techniques you can use on an everyday basis to heal your life. That might be a little rough, but you kind of get my point. So I can change up the terminology suited to the type of demographic that I really want to pull into this crowd. Now, I've looked at analytics from other ads that we've done, and it tends to be that the type of people that we're pulling in here a lot more is visual and creative. So hence the reason why I kind of want to stick with this. So I went ahead and I added our actual place, the date. Got to add that on here. He's coming on the 26th. Now, with Eventbrite, I'm promoting for the free portion of this event, which is going to be the speaking portion. In the language, I'm actually going to be using something a little bit different. But when I put the time, I can go ahead and make the time section for the entire thing. Now, it depends on what I want to do with the language. If I want to be a little bit more descriptive in the language and say from 10:30 to 12 is when we'll have the free speaker. And then noon to 1 is our luncheon. And then from 1 to 4 will be the workshop. I can do that. Or I can just do it simply from 10:30 to 12 on here. And then I can just let them know that this is a free speaker event. So what I think for this particular event, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to actually put it for the entire thing. In the language, I'm going to say speaker start. I'll keep it simple. Speaker 10:30 a.m. Actually, celebration service guest speaker 10:30 a.m. Now, it is mentioned down here, so I don't want to be redundant. Free is up there as well too. I really want to emphasize that. I want to emphasize that free childcare is available. But we also have his workshop, which I want to make sure. Take charge of your creative Mind workshop. Yeah, and I also want to let them know um, that we have a youth luncheon. Food is always a great way to get people interested into your event. So yeah, definitely want to put that in there as well. Anything I can do to kind of stick it out, make it more predominant in the others, that's always great. Way, aesthetically, it's going to help me a lot better. Now, I'm going to come back to that in 1 second, but I do want to go over the event image. Now, in the event image, I have the option of using his face, or I have the option of using this. This kind of goes back up into what we were talking about with this. Now, most of the people that are coming to these types of events are really creative and visual people. So I want to use imagery that's going to kind of stand out and poke out to them. This is more of an abstract type of a feeling of a picture. But I also have that kind of creative mind person in mind while I'm creating this event, because that's the type of person that I really want to pull out and draw to this event. Not only that, but when you go to Eventbrite, high quality images and images with graphics, and the more professional that they look, tend to draw your eye faster to those events rather than, the low grade Google image that I found, just searching up some random event thing that I was looking at. A great resource and a tool is unsplash.com. That's UNSPLASH. Unsplash.com. I could go here for you. All right. And it is it's basically a photography website, has a lot of images. And what they do ask that you do is you can donate, or you can also at least give credit to the person who actually did the image. So if I wanted to choose this one, I could add photo credits, or I can actually donate utilizing this website. This is a great resource. This is a great tool for high quality imagery. If you have Photoshop, this is a great place to go. Like I said, it makes a mountain of difference on whether or not people are actually going to go see your event or not. So now back into here, I really want to focus in on the story, the catch. When a person has gotten far enough to want to read this information, I want to really give them some good taglines. Well, he's a free speaker. Free is always good. That's going to activate my logical mind because, logically speaking, free sounds a lot better than paying. Free childcare is provided. That's great for parents. I really want to make sure I've got that out there, and you will get a lot of people by providing childcare. I'm listing the time and date information. That's more around planning-based people, organized-based people. I've got the story of what Terry actually went through. He went through 27 major surgeries to remove a life-threatening bacteria. Now, he has a very intense story, and obviously the workshop that he's going to be doing, he's going to be going over that information. So I really want this to be my main subject. I'm drawing them in because it's a free speaker. They're going to be able to see him for free. And if they want to leave afterwards, they're more than welcome to. But I also do want to let them know that we have a workshop coming up. So it's a great tool to get that. Now, as far as the link lineage is concerned, I have the actual link right here itself. That's going to take them over to our website in case they want to register. But if they don't, if I want to make this a little bit more prettier, I can just do this and go like this, highlighting it. And then these two little things right up here are insert a link or break a link, unlink. So I can click on here, and what it's going to do is I can take that same URL or the same website, and I can insert it into that word. Now the word is here. Now what target means is this going to open up a new tab in the same page? So meaning, is it going to close down my Eventbrite, and then is it going to pop up the page that I'm going to? Or are we going to open it up in a new tab? And so I often just say a new tab because it's kind of frustrating when, let's say, they were trying to find the information of, where the address was, and now they can't find that. And so, yeah, it gets a little frustrating. So I often will just do it in a new window. I'll go ahead and hit insert, and voila, that same code right here, the same URL is embedded into this. So I can go ahead and now I can get rid of this. There we go. All right, great. So I have my event description. It's catchy, it's short, but it has all the information that I need. Oh, and a perfect thing I forgot. I'm going to reword this a little bit. I'm going to take that out. Okay, so I've worded it the way I wanted to. I just wanted to make sure that I did distinguish that there was a charge for the workshop, because the ultimate goal is not to put this out there so we can con people into coming to our event by saying whatever we think will make them come, but to really act as a good tool for the right person to come to our event. And by doing this consistently throughout, the course of the year, you're going to get results. And that's really the big thing behind marketing, is consistency is what's going to build your values. So now I'm going to come down here. I've set my tickets for 50. Now, typically they can start you out at 100, but the reason why I'm going lower is because I want people to see a lower ticket amount. So when it starts to get up there and people are getting these tickets, although they are free, they're going to see that this event is going to be quickly selling out. And I want that type of feeling behind this event, because as it's going along, I can also increase these increments by simply going back into the event after it's been published. And then I'll go ahead and I'll actually edit that as I see people are getting registered for the event. Also down here at the very bottom, you have to show the number of remaining tickets on your event listing. So people publicly will be able to see this. Now, in the past, I've clicked this off and I haven't showed people the tickets, but I found that through, psychology, it really actually works just to leave it on there, because people will see other people joining that event and they'll want to participate. If they don't, that's going to be the type of event, and I can come back in here and modify that throughout the course of the entire campaign period. So it's something that I strongly recommend leaving the ticket count on there, but I can also see certain circumstances where you may not want that to happen. I'm going to list this as a public page, so it's going to be discoverable by anybody on Eventbrite and distribution partners and other search engines. So once again, this is an outward marketing tool, so this is going to be used by other agencies as part of their calendars. So when you think about it, when a person types in Google things to do near me, the top websites are using search engines like Eventbrite to give them information, so that way they have something to show that person and they can continue to stay on top of the search engines. So this is why it is such a valuable tool to use in combination with other things like Meetup, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever, Twitter. All of these components are really great. Now, one of the main thing that Facebook, or excuse me, that Eventbrite and Meetup have to offer that's kind of unique is that they're more segmented towards geographical area. So they're going to have this posted in with local magazines. Like Eventbrite is really works a lot with our Dallas Observer over here. So when you go and type in things to do in Dallas, the Dallas Observer pops up at the top of those search engines, and they use things like Eventbrite to populate the different events that are happening. So this can be a really powerful tool because it's getting picked up by other agencies that are then putting it out in the local area. And so if you're trying to build a physical community traffic, then this is one of the better tools and techniques to use. And although some of the events might have costs, as far as tickets and things like that, and you're trying to avoid fees being taken out of those ticket sales, like I was just showing you with this particular one, we can use different tactics to be able to stay well within well within the policies of Eventbrite, but also using means that we're already traditionally using to process payments and to actually collect ticket sales. So if this was an event that was just strictly with ticket sales, is it worth it to go through Eventbrite and actually have it available and take a hit with the service fees? It's not as bad as it appears because places like Ticketmaster and other avenues, they actually charge a lot more, and they don't give you the promotional aspect. So yeah, and with Pro account, you can definitely do a lot more with their marketing tools, and so it's a pretty good trade-off either direction. Okay, great. So I've got that, and now I'm going to pick a category that I want it to be listed under. And you got to look at what this type of event is. Well, it's going to be a speaker and a workshop that's going to be happening. Now, I can put it under party or social gathering, although party and social gathering is probably going to be the most saturated one. I mean, I'm trying to find something that's going to really fit the audience. So class, training, or workshop, you're going to find a lot of real estate investments, just investment types of courses and classes and things like that. But if I really hyper focus this into the spiritual realm, this could be a great category for me. So when you're putting out Eventbrites, really be conscious of where you're putting them and don't be afraid to move them around in categories. And like I was mentioning before, you can go actually back inside of this and you can edit some of the things for your event. If you're seeing it's not having any traction, you might want to try rewording it a little bit. You might want to try choosing a different category or a place where it's listed. That can actually help to build up a lot of traction and esteem too. And when you do find these little sweet spots, make sure to write them down for future events because they become very handy in keeping you more efficient and more effective. I'm going to go ahead and click on that one. This really pertains a lot more to religion and spirituality. Religion and spirituality here it's going to be a lot more different. So we're going to really pop out a lot more by being more on the spiritual side and less on the religion side. Now there's a ton of different ones that you have to choose from. But like I said before, if you're not finding traction is happening, you can always come back in here and start to edit some of these subcategories and categories to see if that helps get any better exposure for your event. This is a new age one. I've also tried mysticism and occult. They work pretty well. But yeah, other is a challenging one. I really haven't got a lot of good responses from other because mostly they're looking for kind of more of a philosophy type of a thing. So in this particular event, I'm going to really focus with new thought because it fits mostly the type of audience that I'm going to want to pull here. So I've got everything. I am good. I'm going to go ahead and just save this and then hit publish. Okay, great. So the next thing that I have the ability to do is I have the ability to share this onto my social media. Let this load. And I'm going to go ahead and click, hold on, before I do that, I'm going to make sure that I am logged into the correct account of Facebook to make sure that I am actually going to be posting to the right page. Okay, so when I go in here, everything should be correct. Okay, so that's important because if you have multiple Facebook accounts, just make sure that you're actually on the right page. Okay, I'm going to add tickets to add new event. Take charge of your creative mind. Yep, that's the right one. Facebook page is under CSL Dallas, and that's the right one. And I have my total tickets and all of that good information. So I can go ahead and then click on privacy, and I might actually want to change this one. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. I can change the privacy, excuse me, I can click on this and then I can actually go into add it to my Facebook. Now, the thing about that is, I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick. And then I'm going to walk you through how to actually connect your Facebook account to Eventbrite. Eventbrite also works with MailChimp. So if you're familiar with MailChimp, you can actually work with it to build a more streamlined marketing program. So it's really good to integrate into a lot of things. And that's why things like Eventbrite become really handy marketing tools. So now that I have it shared on my Facebook page, I'm going to go and actually share it as a post because this is going to be coming up on this month. And so I definitely want to make sure that I have it available. So I'm going to go ahead and post it. All right, great. So now that I've got that posted onto our Facebook page, it's live, more and more people can see it, and we will start marketing that event. I'm going to do a couple other things to it. I'm going to add a video to it. I'm going to do some other Facebook marketing to it. I'm going to invite friends to it. I'm going to do all those other techniques. And what's going to happen is they're actually going to be getting the tickets through Eventbrite. So they work hand in hand. But if I've never done that before and I want to actually go and connect my Facebook to Eventbrite, what I have to do, right? Nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. Okay, I can do it a couple different ways. Oop, not there. Here we go. On the other side of my account settings, I can go to linked accounts. There, I can actually link in my connected account. So I can go connect it, and it's going to tell me that it's already connected because I'm already connected because I just shared it. But if I wasn't and I did that, then what I need to make sure is that I'm logged in prior to doing this to the correct Facebook account. And then what it will ask me is that, can it have access to my information? Meaning, can it have access to my pages? And so once I'm in that and I give this application called Eventbrite the permission to be able to do that, Then when I go into any one of my events, then it's actually linked up. And now if I have multiple pages, I can actually select which page that I want it to be shared to. So for instance, if I go over here to the open door, which is another event that we have, and I want to, let's say, go to add this to another page that I own, I can actually select it from here. So this is linked to my uh, business account, and my business account is linked to my Facebook page. And so I've got a couple other ones on there, but this is where I would be able to select which page to actually do that from. And you can actually preview the whole thing right here. And once again, you accept the privacy statement and then add it to your Facebook. Now, what I have noticed is that when I go and I directly add it, I don't necessarily see it posted to my page. So I need to actually go and share it to my page in order for people to actually see it. So let's go over here. And that's what you guys saw before, is that I was posting it to my actual page itself, announcing that it was available. And so I have another video that I'm going to add to this. But I just want to make sure that you guys see this. So I've got the actual event right here, right now, and it's available. So once I go into my events, I'm going to be able to see it inside of here as well too. Okay, so we go down here and you see that take charge of your creative mind is right here. So once I go in here, now here's the cool part. I can actually change this piece to here's that, to an actual video. So this was done on Eventbrite, but I created some custom graphics that I wanted to add, and that's going to go out onto my Facebook. This is another unique way you're going to be able to get a lot better engagement, because if I go over to Eventbrite and I have, pretty much just a stale image, and then I'm going over to Facebook and it has a great image, well, I can run ads on my Facebook and put that out on Instagram and, work that marketing tool in the same way. But on Eventbrite, it's going to be working with just static images, and I can market and promote it through those avenues, which are all using pretty much static images anyways. So like when our Dallas Observer uses it, it pretty much needs to have a static image, because if it goes out onto their website, they don't have the capacity to be running a bunch of videos and other things like that. And so, yeah, I want to make sure that this video and the way that this is marketed is a little bit different than my Eventbrite page. But the great thing about Eventbrite is it's all integrated. So I can go over to my Facebook page and actually do some editing techniques on there as well. So great, now I have that, and there's myself. Hey, how you doing, self? Save. There we are. And so now that event has been updated and it's ran through Eventbrite, and I can now market and promote it. I can do all the other things that I was able to do on Facebook as far as marketing aspects. Great. So yeah, and another technique that I like to use is once I start getting people on here that are going to the events. So let's see here. Gong meditation, they've started picking up. I've got 12 out of 30 tickets. I kept the ticket count low leading up to the event. I might raise that another 20 to 30 of them. But what an important thing is that I can actually email invitations outwardly. So I can use my MailChimp and I can start to invite people to this particular event. So this is a great way to automate and really put into one place your e-blasts. But then if I go and I go over to manage attendees, I can also send emails to the attendees. So as this event is going on, I can actually create emails to send to them to make sure that they're continually engaged. So, or, if something happens, like in this case, Gong meditation got rescheduled, I have an ability to let everybody know what's happening prior to them showing up and getting stressed out because they weren't there, or they might think something about our organization. So it's a great tool to be able to use for the people that are showing up. Also, this is a good way for me to really just keep people engaged into the event, letting them know that's happening, helping them to get any kind of questions out of the way. I'm just going to pop into this one. Oh, I think this was one that was just a reminder. So anyways, yeah, you can send out emails as an e-blast system in here, and it is integrated in with MailChimp, Constant Contact, Emma, Aweber. So any one of these you can utilize as well as your Eventbrite. So it's a really great marketing tool in that sense as well. So these are just some of the techniques that you can use for free that will allow you to get your physical community built up. It will also give you some advantages by putting your brand out there in the local community. So there's more branding aspect that you'll get out of it. It integrates with your Facebook, but not to the point where it just controls it and you can't do anything else with it. But it integrates in with your Facebook. It also integrates in with MailChimp, and it can integrate in with like your website. WordPress websites are really great to utilize with Eventbrite. So all around, it's a great tool. And if you go and you do the pro packages, they have some great features on there as well too for marketing. They work with a number of different websites that are marketing and promoting websites. They work with a number of different agencies that are agencies that help to market and promote just events in the local area. So going pro is definitely a good idea if you can financially afford it. But it's a small fee for getting in new community members and really helping to impact their lives. So once again, I'll put the contact information for me down below if you guys have any technical questions. And as I'm doing this throughout the course of the month and I'm doing the different types of marketing here for CSL Dallas, I'll continue to just keep making these videos, and feel free to put any comments or questions that you have down below, and I'll try to do my best to answer them as quickly as possible. So thank you all for joining me once again. I'm out.